Hello and welcome to Kitchen Door Workshop, the home of replacement kitchen doors since 1996. In this video we're going to look at how to adjust your hinges to get your doors level. First tip I'd give you is before you start adjusting any doors, make sure all the doors are fitted. So fit all the doors, then decide once they're fitted which ones need adjusting. Start at one end of the kitchen and gradually work your way around, adjusting them as necessary. Now some people get a bee in their bonnet about adjusting doors and they think, goodness gracious, it's going to be frightfully complicated, I've never been able to do it before, it's going to be very difficult. And it isn't. It's actually very, very simple, because on a hinge there are only basically 3 adjustments, and you're probably going to be using just one adjustment of those 3. So let's talk about the adjustments and what they're for. If you look at this door, it's out of adjustment. It doesn't look level. There's a bigger gap at one end and a smaller gap at the other. So what we need to do is to lift this side of the door. Now to do that, we can do it either on the top hinge or on the bottom hinge. And the way that you would do it on the bottom hinge is to move the bottom hinge this way, which will tip the door in that direction. If you were to do it using the top hinge, you'd want to move the top hinge that way to drop that side of the door, which would again lift that side of the door. In this instance, what I'm going to do is to move the bottom hinge out. Now, on the hinge there will be a couple of screws that you can see for adjusting. Those screws and the jobs that they do vary from one hinge to another. The different manufacturers, although they have the same adjustments on the hinge, a different screw will do it depending on the hinge that you have. So you just need a little bit of trial and error to see which screw does which. So what we're looking to do now is to move that hinge in that direction, which brings the door over, and as well as bringing the door over, the bottom of the door, it moves it round and closes the gap at the top. So that door is now level. The second adjustment on a hinge allows you to move the door up and down like that. It's not going to twist the door, which is the adjustment you normally need to make. It purely allows the door to go up and down. And that adjustment is generally on 2 screws on the back plate. And by loosening those screws off and moving the back plates up or down, we'll move the door laterally up or down. If when you loosen those screws off, the back plate is a little bit stiff, you can just tap the back plate very gently with a hammer and that will just loosen it off, and you'll be able to move the back plate up and down. There's quite a lot of adjustment in the back plate to allow you to do that. The third adjustment moves the door closer to or further away from the cabinet. You don't normally need to adjust that. It's done to allow you to get an even gap down the edge of the door when you look at the door sideways on. So if the door is tipping forwards or tipping backwards, then you can adjust that to bring the door into level. All I would say is don't have the door too tight or too close to the cabinet. The reason is when you open the door will bind and you won't be able to open or close the door very easily. And sometimes when customers ring up and say, my door won't shut properly, it seems to be binding, that's the adjustment that they haven't done in moving the hinge forward. Finally, on some types of soft close hinge, there is an adjustment at the back. There's a little lever that when you turn it, it affects the tension on the damper that slows the door down when it closes, and you can adjust that tension with the little lever on the back, and that's on certain soft close hinges. So you now know how to adjust your hinges. I hope you found this guide useful, and also that you'll take a moment to watch the other guides in the series that we've made. However, if you have any unanswered questions or queries, please don't hesitate to give us a call or drop us an email, and we'll be more than happy to try and help you.